Welcome to Housing TV News at the top of the hour, coming to you from our studio in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Maimuna Bagudu. Our top stories. Federal government to revive National Addressing Council to drive economic growth, financial inclusion. On tax reform bills, Senate dares intimidation, forges ahead with legislation. Lagos State government tax developers on quality projects. Customs sees 86.7 million naira petrol in Adamawa, generate 500 million naira in 5 months. On the foreign scene, US-based real estate firm unveils platform for Nigerian investors. We'll begin with national matters. The federal government is set to revamp Nigeria's addressing system with plans to reinvigorate the National Addressing Council (NAC) and establish a technical committee to advance national planning, economic development and financial inclusion. According to a statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Communications, Sterling Nwocha, this decision was taken during a pre-meeting of the NAC held at the Presidential Villa on Wednesday. At the meeting, Vice President Kashim Shettima was said to have emphasized the importance of a standardized national addressing system, describing it as essential for improving service delivery, strengthening urban planning, and fostering economic growth. Speaking to stakeholders, Shettima highlighted the need for a systematic approach to address decades of infrastructural deficits and inefficient address mapping. He noted that the current disorganized addressing system hampers governance, logistics, and financial inclusions for millions of Nigerians. Now to the Senate. The Nigerian Senate on Thursday insisted that the proposed tax reform bill has not been suspended or withdrawn as reported by some media organizations. President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, reiterated the chamber's independence and its commitment to safeguarding the interests of Nigerians as it deliberates on the contentious tax reform bills. Senate leader Opeyemi Bamidele has raised a point of order to that effect. Senator Bamidele emphasized displeasure with reports that the bills had been withdrawn, stressing that the executive has the right to do so.
As far as we are concerned, the tax reform bills are alive in this hollow chamber. They are receiving consideration at various levels, and we are open to discussions, to negotiations, to interface. But let it not be said anywhere that we suspended further consideration of these bills. And also it would be laughable for anybody to also think or say or report that the bills were withdrawn. Because like I said, there are executive bills that can only be withdrawn by the executive. And there's no reason to do so. Because these bills, we believe, are in overriding public interest, and will do everything possible to ensure that across geopolitical interests, across, political parties, across every religious interest, everybody that has concern, civil society, everybody that has concern is given a chance to contribute to the passage of these laws.
In his remarks, Akpabio said that the Red Chamber will not be bullied or intimidated over the tax reform bills, asserting that legislative action on the proposed laws will continue in the interest of Nigerians.
Also shy away from deleting or abrogating or stopping whatever we feel is not in the public interest. But for the tax reform bills, we believe that there are too many provisions there that would definitely help Nigerians. You can't imagine what it means for businesses that earn less than 50 million not to pay tax. You can't imagine what it means for multiplicity of taxes to be abrogated. You can't imagine what it means for people who earn less than the minimum wage or even minimum wage not to pay tax. So the exemptions are such that up to 100 million Nigerians will benefit from these tax reform bills. So let's not listen to social media. Let's not listen to Arise Television. And I hope they are well guided with the explanation of the Senate leader.
The Senate also reshuffled the membership of the committee responsible for meeting with the federal government delegation to address concerns raised about the tax reform bills currently under review. Tahir Monguno, Senate Chief Whip, was removed from the committee and replaced by Kaka Shehu, Senator representing Borno Central Senatorial District. In another development, the Nigerian Senate has passed for third reading of the Investment in Securities, Repeal and Enactment Bill 2024. Passage of the bill for third reading by the Senate followed by consideration and adoption of recommendations made to that effect by its Committee on Capital Market, chaired by Senator Osita Izunazo. The committee in the report informed the Senate that the Repeal and Enactment Bill, when signed into law, will make the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) the apex regulatory authority for the Nigerian capital market.
That enactment of this proposed legislation will undoubtedly provide significant opportunity to drive the growth of the capital market and diversification, thereby creating a conducive atmosphere for investors in the Nigerian capital market. 4, that the bill contemplates to address modern forms of financial malpractices and reinforce investors' protection by engendering robust regulations around market abuses, insider trading, and governance standards for public traded companies. 5, that the bill envisages regulatory framework for digital currencies and fintech activities, including the provision of blockchain cryptocurrency transactions to support the integration of innovative technologies within the scope of the capital market.
The Senate accordingly, after clause-by-clause consideration of the bill, passed it for a third reading.
For the Act to repeal the Investment and Securities Act 2007, Act number 29/2007, and enact the Investments and Securities Bill 2024, and to establish the Securities and Exchange Commission as the apex regulatory authority for the Nigerian capital market, as well as regulation of the market to ensure capital formation, the protection of investors, maintain fair, efficient and transparent market, and reduction of systemic risk and related matters, 2024, third reading taken and passed.
Now, away from the Senate, the Nigerian Customs Service disclosed it has generated over 500 million naira from petroleum smugglers across the country. Investigations revealed that the newly inaugurated Customs Special Task Force team, called Operation Whirlwind, generated the said amount following sighting operations carried out against the smugglers. While speaking in Yola on Wednesday, the National Coordinator of Operation Whirlwind, Controller Hussaini Ejubunu, revealed at a press conference that between October and November, the Operation Whirlwind team seized petrol worth over 86.7 million naira in the Adamawa and Taraba Command. He said that the successes recorded were due to the unrelenting, uncompromising and collaborative efforts of the operatives. The seized items in the command included 1,124 jerry cans of 25, 40 and 60 liters capacity each of petrol, 53 drums of 200 liters capacity each filled with petrol, 21,000 liters of PMS conveyed in 2 tankers totaling 71,965 liters, and 5 vehicles plus 2 motorcycles. Ejibunu further disclosed that the smugglers were heading to the Republic of Cameroon when his men intercepted and seized the products. He added that the Special Operation Team intercepted 14 fuel tankers loaded with PMS on the ground of product diversion and smuggling. In an effort to reshape the public and global perception of Nigerians' national security, media practitioners has been urged to put the country's national interest above personal, emotional and sentimental values. This decision was reached at the end of a roundtable discussions with the National Counter-Terrorism Center under the Office of the National Security Advisors and media professionals in Abuja. Speaking at the event, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, said negative media projection of Nigerians' national interests has a detrimental effect playing out, preventing investors into the economy.
We will also need to advocate for sustainable practices through reporting on innovative practices in defense, as well as using available data To tell the stories as evidence-based outcomes allows for a more informed public discourse. These options will engender trust and cooperation between the military, civil society, and other stakeholders, and enhance contextual and understanding of local dynamics for enhanced social cohesion and effective collaboration. You must love a place to protect that area. You must love your country for your country to thrive. If we put anything ahead of our country, then we're not getting it right. Most times we look at money. Everybody is after money. And so we downgrade your country just because you think you are making money, not knowing that you are equally, unintentionally also killing yourself. Because if the country goes down, you are also going down with it. And without a stable country, you can't be even there to practice. So I think that's one key area that we really, really need to look at, that we must love our country. And it's when you love your country, you can protect it.
The coordinator of the National Counter-Terrorism Center, Major General A.G. Laka, said there was a need for a balance between reporting and national interests. Hence, it is crucial to shape public and global perceptions of policy and critical issues on national security.
The objective of this roundtable discussion with you is to foster an open and insightful exchange of ideas. By sharing your experiences, observations, and challenges, together we aim to enhance collective understanding of the dynamism of terrorism and its evolving tactics, discover the ethical considerations of reporting on such sensitive issues, identify opportunities for collaboration between journalists, security experts, and policymakers, and harvest thoughts for the development of a national strategic communication plan and protocols for the gathering and distribution of news on terrorism and violent extremism, with the hope of stemming threats to our national security and interest.
And that before he came to Nigeria, the stories about Nigeria, about security, he was reading. And the security report, the diplomatic cables that always flow from Nigeria. Anybody will be scared to want to come to Nigeria. But when he got here, he saw that the country is not anywhere the Armageddon that our media has projected it to be. So this event is very important, and it will help us to know while we are doing our job as journalists, as reporters, reporting, all we do. Of course, they say journalism is history written in a hurry because we only have deadlines to meet. We need to know the place of national interest.
News stories from the housing sector are up next after this break. Stay with us. Glad to have you join us back on Housing TV News at the top of the hour. Moving on to the housing sector. In a bid to strengthen Nigerians' efforts in addressing urban development challenges, the Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Architect Ahmed Musa Dangiwa, has called for increased support and collaboration from UN Habitat. Speaking during a working lunch with the new Executive Director of UN Habitat, Anna Claudia Rosbach, on the sidelines of the second session of the 2024 UN Habitat Executive Board meeting in Nairobi, the minister emphasized the urgency of addressing Nigerians' housing and urban challenges. Dangiwa underscored the critical state of housing in Nigeria, noting that over 75% of the country's 42 million housing units are substandard, with nearly half of the population living in informal settlements. Dangiwa highlighted the federal government's National Urban Renewal and Slum Upgrade Program, which has completed projects at 54 sites nationwide, with 56 additional projects underway. These efforts aim to improve essential infrastructure such as water supply, solar-powered street lights, access roads, drainage systems, and waste management solutions. The minister stressed the importance of robust partnerships with international organizations like UN Habitat to scale up these initiatives. Now, in the FCT, the minister, Nyesom Wike, on Thursday inaugurated the access road to new EFCC Academy site in the nation's capital, Abuja. Speaking at the inauguration, Wike debunked rumors going round that the ongoing construction of the major road in Abuja is solely for the benefit of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. Wike said that the road aims to open up the Giri community and adjoining districts to enhance development, facilitate farming activities, and reduce urban congestion. He thanked President Tinubu for the opportunity to contribute to the infrastructural development of the FCT. The governor of Adamawa State, Amadu Umaru Fintiri, on Wednesday hailed his Taraba State counterpart, Governor Agbo Kefas, for turning development into a tradition in Taraba State. Fintiri made the remark while inaugurating the remodeled Taraba State House of Assembly complex in Jalingo. Speaking at the event, Fintiri emphasized the enduring bond between Taraba and Adamawa State, describing their relationship as one with an umbilical cord that cannot be broken, despite the separation for administrative convenience. He commended Kefas for providing the state lawmakers with a befitting edifice, underscoring its significance in fostering a harmonious working relationship between the executive and legislative arms of government. Now to Lagos State. As building collapse continues to damage the built environment, the Lagos State government has urged stakeholders in the building and construction sector to maintain the highest standards of quality and safety in all construction projects to ensure durable and safe structures across the state. The General Manager of the Lagos State's Material Testing Laboratory Agency, Engineer Olayinka Abdul, stated this during a stakeholders forum with the Association of Real Estate Developers of Nigeria held in the Ebute Meta area of the state. In her address at the event titled Ensuring Quality and Safety, the Critical Role of Materials Testing in Lagos Building Projects, Abdul underscored Lagos State's position as a rapidly expanding metropolitan hub and highlighted the vital role of the real estate sector in driving economic development. Still in Lagos State, the state government has asked residents to report complaints about threats to their safety to the Command and Control Center for urgent attention. According to the General Manager of the center, Femi Giwa, toll-free emergency lines have been provided to citizens to report security threats or accidents, adding that swift action would be taken after receiving the complaints. Giwa, who addressed a press conference on Thursday at Alausa Ikeja, reiterated the commitment of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's administration to ensuring public safety. Now, businesses and residents of Oshodi, Isolo local government area of Lagos State, have opposed the council's proposed hike in various levies and rates, describing the move as untimely and insensitive to Nigerians' current economic realities. In an open letter addressed to the council's socio-political activist, Dr. Barnabas Otobi urged the local government leadership to drop the plan. According to the residents, the bill outlined significant increases in levies across different sectors. To wrap up Housing TV news at the top of the hour, on the foreign scene, a United States-based real estate company, Rare Capital Growth, has unveiled a platform that opens the U.S. commercial real estate market to Nigerian investors. Operating Officer Matthew Blair disclosed this on Thursday, stressing that the need for the initiative was to accommodate smaller investors into the business that had been traditionally dominated by high net worth individuals and institutions. Blair emphasized the rationales behind Nigerians investing in the fractional ownership of high-value property without significant capital. Blair noted that one of the platform's standout features is its tax-efficient model for international investors, which aligns well with Nigeria's tax regime. I take that again. And lastly, on the foreign scene, a powerful 7.0 magnitude earthquake struck off the coast of Northern California on Thursday morning, prompting brief tsunami warnings across parts of California and Oregon before being lifted hours later. The United States Geological Survey reported the quake's epicenter near Petrolia in Humboldt County, describing it as a strong seismic event. The earthquake, recorded at 10:44 a.m. local time, triggered a tsunami warning from Davenport, California, to the Douglas and Lane line in Oregon. However, the National Tsunami Warning Center called the alert shortly before noon. According to a post by the center on X, no tsunami danger presently exists in the area. That's the much we can take on Housing TV news at the top of the hour. Before we go, a quick recap of our top stories. Federal government to revive National Addressing Council to drive economic growth, financial inclusion. On tax reform bills, Senate dares intimidation, forges ahead with legislation. Lagos State government tax developers on quality project. Customs sees 86.7 million naira petrol in Adamawa, generate 500 million naira in 5 months. On the foreign scene, US-based real estate firm unveils platform for Nigerian investors. For more news in the housing sector, subscribe to Housing TV Africa on YouTube and follow Housing TV Africa on all social media platforms. You can also download the Housing TV Africa mobile app on Google Play Store and Apple Store to stay connected. I am Maimuna Bagudu. Bye for now.
Visit Housing TV Africa on YouTube and click on the subscribe button. Subscribe to Housing TV Africa to stay updated on latest happenings in Nigeria's housing sector. Follow our social media pages, like and share our posts. On Facebook, Housing TV Africa. On Twitter, Housing TV Africa. Instagram, Housing TV Africa.